that they paid me, the next month will not even reach some money in my account. So I decided to quit.
Mr. Nice Man's farm in the rural parts of Akwa Ibom State, and he cultivates cucumber, he garden egg, cabbage, and other kinds of vegetable crops. Man, this guy does amazing. The story you're going to hear is going to blow your mind away. Stay tuned to this one so that you can listen to everything Mr. Nice Man has to say concerning this farm. Do it to subscribe, turn on your notification icon so YouTube can recommend videos like this to you if you love agriculture, just like me. Good day, everybody. My name is God's Time Apan, and I'm here in a rural part of Akwa Ibom State, out of Uyo main town, in one of the cucumber farm we have, and it's being run by this amazing man here. I'll let him introduce himself, tell us the farm name, and everything we need to know about his amazing cucumber farm. So, sir, welcome. Tell us your name and let us get to know you better.
All right, good afternoon. My name is Nsisong Udofia. In business world, my business name and the farm name is Nice Man Agro and Farm. Nice Man Agro and Farm, the real farm is located at Oboito Kings Ibom local government area of Akwa Ibom State, and the shop is located at 145 Akabli. And welcome to the cucumber farm.
Believe me, this cucumber farm is super amazing. I've eaten like 4 cucumbers already, and believe me, the cucumber is fresh. So now, what were you doing before you became a cucumber farmer?
All right. After my graduation in 2021, I worked briefly with Federal Inland Revenue in Rivers State, Port Harcourt, and I was looking at the 3 challenges of every man that says build a house, marry, and have a mobility. And I was looking at the salary that was coming into my account, and I was carefully asked myself, with this amount of money that I'm being paid, will I be able to meet up the challenges of every man in life? And I decided to come into farming, and since then I have not worked for anybody. By the special grace of God, I'm employer of many staffs currently.
Wow. So, why farming?
All right. A lot of people have been seeing farming before I even venture into farming. Anytime I'm going to the bank, I'll see a lot of farmers going to banks to go and collect loan. And when we were child, during that time in primary school, everybody will say, "What do you want to become in life?" And we'll be mentioning a lot of pilots, doctors, and the rest of them. But nobody wanted to be a farmer, because of this mentality that farmers are poor people. And when I grew up, I goes to the banks every time I'm seeing farmers collecting loans. So that mentality still live in me, that farmers are poor people. But when I venture into farming, and I've discovered that most of those farmers that we are seeing in the bank, they are not really poor, because they have made profit on a particular, maybe if they are started with 2 plots, they are now going for expansion. So I can tell you, farming cannot be compared to any other profession. I don't know, because I've not been in several professions, but by a professional, I am an estate valuer. An estate valuer by professions. I read estate management and valuation. But I know a lot of people are making money through real estate. But I can say my calling is, and a lot of people have been asking me, why are you not practicing what you read in school? And estate is all about interest in land and landed properties. And I've choose property development, which farming is part of property development, and it's all started with passion before we talk about money. But I can tell you, this is what I've been putting my bills on a daily basis.
All the while you have been a farmer, what has been the most difficult period while you've been into farming?
I've been telling people that it's all begin with the right seed. That is why Nice Man Agro and Farm is not just a farmer, he's an agro dealer as well. Because we are having a challenges of bringing the right seed. Farmers were doing test running with different species of cucumbers, not only cucumbers alone, watermelon, because I venture into watermelon, I do okra, I do a tomato, and the rest, any vegetables that you can think of. And one of the most challenges that we had as farmers in Akwa Ibom and Nigeria was bringing the right seed that can give farmers joy when the harvest period comes. And Nice Man Agro and Farms have been partnering with a Sunhot company in Malaysia, and by the special grace of God, we are bringing seeds that farmers are now planting. It is not only farmers, I am planting and giving a good bumper harvest to the farmers. So other farmers that are coming up, When we started, a lot of farmers are complaining of capital, that they want to venture into farming and they don't have capital, they don't have land, oh, a lot of excuses. But I want to tell you that in that 2021, when I resigned from Federal Inland Revenue, I worked with the Brezhnev Lanwa in a group that we call Beni Groups of Nigeria. And I worked briefly after that Inland Revenue, and that is where my eye was opening. We were one of the lead facilitators of Ibom 3000 project in Agric that was being powered by the former governor, His Excellency Udom Emmanuel, and we were part of the facilitators. So what really came into my mind was that after training those guys, I'll be sitting in the office and be collecting peanuts. And I'll be visiting those farms as their consultants and be consulting, and they're making monies. And I now said, if these guys that I train can now come up and I'm sitting down at the end of the month, the money that I've been paid at the end of the month is what those guys are having in a day. But they will be calling, I'm the one that transferred the knowledge to them. So I said, no. I come back to the village and I started with 2 sachets of cucumber. You don't need to start very big. I've been preaching, start small and grow big. That has always been my main words to the young farmers that are coming up. You cannot, in Ibibio language, there is one adage that they say the child that raises up his hand is the child that somebody will be prompted to carry. In Ibibio language, they will say Benne. So if you just sit down and have a whole lot of excuses, you don't have land, you don't have capital, it is when people now see what you are doing that people can now, by the special grace of God, I have investors that are coming from different parts of the countries because of I started. God will not prosper your dreams, but your actions. So just put actions first, then now watch the connections that are coming up. So young farmers, I don't have a challenge when it comes to farming because it is what I have passion for. So every challenge that comes, I see it as what can make me to learn more and move forward to a higher level.
Okay, thank you. That's very touching. You said you started with 2 sachets of seeds.
2 sachets of cucumber in my village.
In your village.
In my village, in my father's compound.
Oh my God, 2 sachets.
And this is the second farm. I started there with 2 sachets in my father's compound in a boy to Muslim local government area, late Elder Basi Peter's Sodafia's compound. It is not a story. And then after that 2 sachets, I now moved to this particular farm and I planted 18 sachets. It was from that 2 sachets that I raised the capital from the 2 sachets to 18 sachets. And from here we have a lot of farms.
Wow. For instance, that 2 sachets, now how much did you make from that 2 sachets?
I'm not here to exaggerate or to make people rush because at the end of the day they say, this guy was saying this and I've gone there, I've not made that money. There is what we call in Nice Man Agro and Farm. We don't only farm, we farm the smart way. We always calculate our time of planting. We don't just plant because you have heard a particular product that tomato is making money, cucumber is making money. You need to be calculative in your planting. So in that 2 sachets of cucumber, there's a time that you can barely have maybe 50 to 100,000 as your profit. But there's a time that you can have 200 depending on your timing. So that's why I said it is not everything that I'll speak on air. That's why I said we call it smart farming.
You can consult him. His details will be, you can reach me to get his details. You can consult him if you want to go into cucumber farming. That's a very powerful, a smart way of farming. That's what he does. So
yes.
You definitely need to make your money back. Do you really think cucumber is actually a way forward for young farmers to venture into?
It is not only cucumbers alone, vegetable farming. Vegetable farming is a kind of farming that has a short period of time. And you can even do it even when you don't have a land. You can do it in a rented apartment, in a rented land. You can lease a land. Because if you are going for a long term like cocoa, palm fruits, and coconut, those ones, the land must solely be, you must be the owner of the land. But in vegetable farming, there are a lot of big boys in Akwa Ibom, in Uyo, that have just buy a particular land, plots of land, hectares of lands, and fence round without any activities going there. And in vegetable farming, you can just meet one man and say, I have passion in farming. I have seen these plots of land, I've seen these hectares of land that has been fenced around with water without any activities going there. So if I occupy the land, number one, you have now served as a security to the owner of that farm. And at the end of the day, you are making money out of that farm that will have been abandoned for a particular period of time. So to young people that are carrying files and going to look for work and complain there's no job in Akwa Ibom. You know, a guy one of my friends sent me a link that His Excellency is doing employment. I was just laughing at him. I said, how much are you going to pay? It is not that we are making so much money, but at least the joy I have every day is, number one, you see this cucumber, vegetable farming in a whole has a value chain. Number one, we have put food on the table of different people. Is it from the off-takers that are coming to buy in bulk in the farm? The little profit that they have made has make a way of sustaining their families. The people that are buying from the off-takers, the retailers, it is putting food. So it is not all about money. Number one, we have created job. So I think in this farm we have about 4 workers in this particular location. In Nongokana we have 4. In Ibiono we have a lot of them. So at the end of the day, anybody that wants to hire me, maybe to come and work, I will now look at what's my salary that I'm paying to people at the end of the month. So when I calculate all the salaries and now look at how much are you going to pay me. So to the young guys out there, vegetable farming is not quick access to funds. It is not a quick way of making money. But if you start with passion, I tell you, Bet Nigeria used to say reward for passion. If people can bet in something that they're not too sure, my brother, with the right knowledge, if you bet in farming, I can assure you, if there is any investment that the risk is very minimal, it is farming. People go into CBET and a whole lot of one day, their money gone. People go into stock exchange, they will now study the craft, how the money works. But in vegetable farming, you are the one that control the risk of what is happening in your investment. So to the big boys out there, you can venture, you can encourage young people by investing in agriculture and great job for young people.
This has been one of my best interview sessions I've had. It's really inspiring. It's blowing my mind away. Come on, you guys don't love this. I'm actually loving this whole interview. Are you open to teach, to mentor, to partner for investors? Are you open for all these collaborations?
You know, at a time, Nice Man will not be every way physically. So we are trying to raise people that even when I'm not around, those guys can replace me. So we have been on training for about, I think, since on 2023, 24, 25. We have run a online training that a lot of people have been being a beneficiary. I remember one gift in Uniport that she met me online and she saw the post that we made. I think the registration that time was just 10,000 naira. And she was telling me how she struggled to pay her school fees. And I told her, you will not only pay her school fees, but you will make your first million as a student. The girl laughed. I said, okay, no problem. Let's start with 10 sachets of cucumber. At that time, we started with a cucumber we call Sulana. Yes. I sent 10 sachets of Sulana to her. After harvesting, that time she was selling a bag of 60 kg at 20,000. And she made about 1.6 million after the whole harvest. She came back and said, I was thinking that it was a story when you told me that I would not only pay my school fee, but I will be a millionaire in my year 2 in school. So Nice Man Agro and Farm is not selfish when it comes to knowledge transfer. We are open to everybody that are willing and passionate to learn, such we can make food to be sufficient. If I have cucumber, another person has, I think number one day, it will be sufficient for everybody to eat. Like today in my farm, I cannot even satisfy the buyers. I cannot satisfy the off-takers. So we need a lot of people to come in. So we are not selfish. We are so open to consult. We are open to train. We are open to invest. We are open. By special grace of God in 2026, our vision is to be limited in open farming. We are going into greenhouse farming. So when people are calling, I know one of my boys, Samuel, when people are calling, I might not have time to go to Ibno, go to Ikate, go to different places. But it is through this training that we can plant each of the Nice Man representatives, that we can have another person in Esreke that is doing very well, that we can have another person in Ikore Bene that is doing very well, that at least at the end of the day, everybody can be successful.
Wow, thank you so much. For those that still skeptical feelings about this family. What is it? Tell
The
them the truth. Advise them, so that they will also believe that this farming they can actually make billions out of it. They don't want overhype. They don't hype them.
All right.
Just tell them, say, will they make it from this farm?
Okay. If I'm not making it from the farm since 2021, I think if you are venturing into a business and that business is not keeping you going, then you pack up from the business. So if I was working with Federal Inland Revenue and the money that they were paying me was not satisfied to take care of my daily need, I look at, I was living at Emmanuel Close in NTA Road in Port Harcourt, and I was working at Sani Abacha Close. So every day, I need to spend like, that time, transportation was even cheap, to 2021, 2022. So at the end of the day, I will calculate the salary that they paid me. I will go there, I'll eat, I'll come back. Then I prepare for the next day. So at the end of the day, I will now look at the cost of my transportation and feeding. Sometimes the money that they paid me, the next month will not even reach some money in my account. So I decided to quit. So if somebody has been in the farming since 2021 and this is 2026, if the business is not paying, I think I would have quitted and leave and do other things that are paying me.
Exactly.
Now, so for the young guys there, I'm not trying to tell you farming is good. I'm not trying to tell you the farming is bad. But the first thing is have passion. It is what I have passion that pays my bills and have a reward towards that. But when you want to start, let me give this advice, especially to the big boys out there. You can see a lot of greenhouses at Oron Road by airport being
Road.
abandoned.
Yes, abandoned.
A lot of people will spend a lot of money to acquire land. They'll put drip, they'll put everything, drip borehole, makes a whole lot of millions of investment. But when it comes to knowledge, they'll be very greedy and stingy. They will now expect that the knowledge that I've passed through years, experience I've passed through years, that I should give out free. So at the end of the day, that's why those greenhouses are being abandoned. Because they have all what it takes, but when it comes to the technical know-how, that's why I said it all started with the right seed. That's why Nice Man Agro and farmers is standing out among other agro dealers. Because I'm the farmer, I understand the problems of the farmer. I have been telling a lot of farmers, it's not to have a whole lot of warehouse of chemicals, but it's to have a chemical that works to the farmers. So that's why at 145 Akwa Ibom Road, Nice Man Agro and Farm, close to Alternate Points Filling Station. That's where we are located. So we tell you, start it right, grow it right, and smile back to the bank rightly. So when you have all what it takes and you start it wrongly, then those farms can be abandoned in few years to come. Because every entrepreneur is to maximize profit. So if you have invested and there's no profit, then there's no need for you to stay in the business. So we help people to maximize the profit. We help people to start right, build right, manage right, harvest right, and we also even connect to the right buyers.
Okay, so you've heard it all from Mr. Nice Man himself. So he has taught us, he has told us, he has encouraged us, he has inspired me personally to actually look more into agriculture and into vegetable farming. So as I told you earlier, his details will be on the screen, so do well to reach out to him or reach out to me, then I'll pass you on to him.
Thank you.
Yeah, so please don't forget to subscribe, turn on the notification icon so you get more content like this when I drop them, and do well to share to your friends and loved ones and someone that wants to learn anything about vegetable farming. So I'll see you in the next video. For now, bye for now.
All right.
Thank you, boys.
You're welcome.
Thank you.